Didn't see you there. This is Ant from Simul Automation, definitely not Pikachu at all. In this video, we're going to take a look at UiPath with some machine learning to make it to be able to recognize Pokemon. Simply by a user clicking somewhere on a screen, it's going to take a screenshot, figure out what Pokemon it is, then visit the Pokemon website for that Pokemon and read out its Pokédex entry. So let's jump into it. Okay, so this is our process in UiPath here. I'm just going to run it now just to show you a demo of it working. So let's go debug file, run file. It will take a second to load, and I've just Googled images of a Pikachu. When it's loaded, we can select any one of them here, and our custom model will detect that it's a Pikachu. And when we hit OK, it's going to open up the Pokemon website and read out its Pokédex entry.
Pikachu that can generate powerful electricity have cheek sacs that are extra soft and super stretchy.
Let's try a different Pokemon. So I'm going to try a Charizard, which has also been trained with this model. So go debug file, run file. I'll select Charizard. It figures out it's a Charizard, and it will read out its entry.
It spits fire that is hot enough to melt boulders. It may cause forest fires by blowing flames.
Let's rerun that again. However, this time we'll select one of the Charizard Mega Evolutions, which is a blue Charizard Pokemon. You can see here it thinks it's a Golbat. So we've only trained this model with the normal Charizard, not the Mega Charizard. So if I hit OK, it's going to load up the Pokédex for the Golbat entry and read it out.
It attacks in a stealthy manner, without warning. Its sharp fangs are used to bite and to suck blood.
So just note that machine learning, it won't be right every time. However, you can see it works pretty well to figure out which Pokemon we want to recognize. So let's jump into how it's set up and then have a think about any other applications that this could be applied to. So let's take a quick look at how it works at a high level. First of all, we need to train a model to actually recognize Pokemon. We've done this in Firebase and uploaded quite a lot of Pokemon images so it could tell which Pokemon was what. The output of that was a model. And to use that model, we use some Python code, which you don't need to know in detail. All you need to know is that Python code is called by UiPath. So once that's set up, we just need to implement the process in UiPath. What we do is we take a screenshot of a section of a page that will save the screenshot to our disk. Then we'll get the Pokemon using that screenshot and the model. From there, we'll show a message box to the user with what Pokemon it is. And finally, we'll visit the Pokemon website and read out the Pokédex entry. So the way we set up our machine learning model to recognize Pokemon in this UiPath process is through Firebase. You can sign up for free, and once you've done that, you'll just need to create a project. I've already got one here. And you can ignore everything except for the machine learning. We'll just want to jump into that. And then in here, there's an auto machine learning function. Now I've got a data set of about 50 Pokemon here because there is a limit on how many images you can upload in the free version, which is up to 1 GB or 1000 images. And you need at least 10 images of every Pokemon or object you want to recognize. So I've got a bunch of Abras in here, for example. And with that, I've already got a data set added in here. I can go to View, which has already been trained. You can upload and train your own. So I've got this model here. And if I go to Test Model, I can drag an image. So let's just grab a Pokemon that the model hasn't seen, such as this Articuno image here. I'll drag that on. And it will come back with the results with the most likely Pokemon as to what the model thinks it is, and it thinks it's most likely an Articuno, followed by Dugong, then Dragonair, and so on. With the model trained in Firebase, you can go export dataset and download it as a zip file. When that's downloaded, that will give us 3 files: this dict.txt, this manifest.json, and this model.tflite. We'll need these in a moment to use in UiPath. With Firebase covered off, we then use a Python script, which will have this predict function here. It takes in a path to the image, the model we downloaded, which is that tflite file, which is here, model.tflite. Finally, the labels, which is dict.txt, and what that contains is just a list of the possible Pokemon the image could be. You don't need to know exactly how this code works, but what it will do is it will return the first result on what the model thinks the Pokemon is, and this is what we're going to call in UiPath. So let's jump over to UiPath now and take a look at how that works. So I've got this process here, and what it does, it has a Python scope. And what the Python scope will do is I've got something called Anaconda installed, which allows me to install different versions of Python. I've got Python 3.6 installed in this path here. So it's going to load that Python version. Then it will load that Python script, which is that predict.py I just showed you a moment ago. Once that's loaded, you can use this activity indicator on screen, and that allows you to click on any element on the screen. UiPath will then take a screenshot of that image and save it to our path here. And once that's saved, we have these 3 assigns: an image, path, model, and labels. And the reason for that is we're going to pass these into our Python predict function here. So we have image path. So in this case, we'll grab the screenshot that UiPath took of the screen. Then the model, which is our TensorFlow model, and the labels, which is our dict.txt file here. We then call invoke Python method. So we call this name here, which is predict, which matches the name of this function here in Python. We pass it the image path, model, and labels. It's going to return the result to this Python object. With that Python object, we need to convert it to a string. To do that, we use this getPythonObject, takes in a Python object, outputs a Python result, and then we'll show a message box to the user with the Pokemon that we predicted it was. And just for a bit of fun, we then go on to open up the Pokemon website for that particular Pokemon. We'll then get the Pokédex entry and read it out to the user with text to speech. So really cool. So you can download this in the description below. If you do want to use it, you'll need to change all these paths to match where you stored the files for the predict script, and I'll also provide the model. If you wish to use my model, you can also train your own in Firebase. And let's just run it one more time. So Bulbasaur is one of the Pokemon I've made it also predict. So go debug file, run file. Let's choose this image of a Bulbasaur here. This one, it didn't get right. It thinks it's a Pikachu. And when we go OK, it's going to load up the Pokédex entry.
Pikachu that can generate powerful electricity have cheek sacs that are extra soft and super stretchy.
And read out its entry. So really handy. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if it helped you out. You can download the complete solution in the description below. If you do use it, you will need to update UiPath to point to your own version of Python and all the model files. And this sort of solution is run over in more detail in the UiPath Foundations course, so be sure to check out that down in the description below. Catch you next time. If you have any ideas for bots, also let me know and I'll cover it in a future video.